I'm Sherry Turkle. I am a professor at MIT. I'm trained as a sociologist and psychologist. And from the minute I hit MIT at the beginning of the personal computer revolution in the late 70s, I've been studying people and their relationships to technology.
How has your journey or your perspective shifted since you started?
I guess you could say I've gone from cyber optimist to a little bit more cyber cautionary. I see us going places that I don't think we want to go. We look to online life as places where we can be more to each other than we've allowed ourselves to be in our face-to-face lives. So I look at sociable robots and sociable networks, and the social network, as places of intimate technology. And in these two new places, the sociable robots and the sociable networks, I find cause to be more pessimistic and more kind of spinning a cautionary tale than I had before.
There is this culture of commodity, of more and more, bigger, better, faster when it comes to technology. And there hasn't really been the time to step back and reflect on, well, how is this changing us? How are we using it?
I think we're smitten. And like young lovers, we're afraid that too much talking will spoil the romance. And I think that's where we are as a culture. But I think it's time to talk. And I see great resistance to the kinds of things that I want to talk about. Because I think that as a culture, we're smitten. We see many problems, and we sort of think that calling in technology is like calling in the cavalry, and that the technology will help us. So people are lonely. And they think, oh, the social network, a solution. Oh, there aren't enough people to help out old people. Oh, robots. You know, I mean, to me, to my eyes, these are not well thought out solutions. They're not going to help. They really are not going to help in the long run. We have a solution. It's us.
We talk about ourselves, we are the species that creates tools. And yet you talk about it much more. You speak of computers not so much as tools as they are part of our social lives and our psychological selves, our psychological lives.
When I first began working, people kept saying to me, the computer is just a tool. What do you want to study this? The computer is just a tool. And, you know, of course, it's just a tool. But the word just is there to deny me my work, which was to say, this is just a tool. But this is a tool that changes your mind and heart. It changes your relationships. It changes how you see yourself. It changes how you see your mind. It changes how you raise your children. It's just a tool concept you have to really watch out for, because these are tools that, as I put it, are the architect of our intimacies. And those devices, those little devices in our pockets, are changing the way we see the world. The most important thing for people now is control over where they put their attention. People feel so pressured, they feel so beleaguered, that they don't want to have the risk of not being able to control the time and the emotional exposure. Now that's an extraordinary moment to come to, where people are afraid of the time and the emotional exposure of a conversation. But that's where we're at. We are being shortchanged, and I think it's a question of how can we renew relationships that are more meaningful to us, because I think more and more people are discovering that something is amiss in their relationships.
You've been called the couples therapist between humanity and technology, but people go to couples therapy with the hopes of making things work. So when it comes to the relationship between humanity and technology, what steps do you think need to be taken in order for this relationship to work?
I think we need to know better what we want. In other words, I think that we need to reaffirm our commitment to each other and stop looking to technology to be there instead of us. I think the fantasies of substitution are the ones that I think, in my view, need to be addressed. I think we need to focus on making this life the life we can love, and not hoping that we're going to go online and having the life we can love.